Alright guys, so welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you or explaining the overview of HTML, CSS and JavaScript. And in the end of the video, we're going to be building this simple landing page and on making sure we understand how CSS work, how HTML work and how JavaScript works. Alright, so the first thing you need to understand is what is HTML. So I'll come and say what is HTML. That's the first thing you need to understand. And as you can see, HTML actually stands for what? Hypertext Markup Language. So HTML is used to build all the websites you see all over the world. It's like a structure for your websites. So when you go to websites like Amazon, you go to websites like Tesla, you go to websites like Tesla, you go to websites like Coke websites, go to websites like Coke website. All of them here are actually built using what? HTML, which stands for what? Hypertext Markup Language, right? And also, we're going to be building a very simple project, like I said here. But first of all, the first thing we're going to be doing is that we are going to be creating a folder on our desktop. But before we create a folder, please, guys, make sure you have an IDE on your machine, right? So what's an IDE? I'll come and see what is an IDE, like this. So just hold on, take a look. An IDE stands for what? Integrated Development Environment, right? So we have different types of IDE that are out there. We have VS Code, Sublime Text, and the rest. So this IDE is a tool for letting we developers build sustainable applications for users, right? So an IDE is a tool that the Cook engineers actually use to build this Cook website, right? So please, first of all, make sure you download VS Code on your preferred system. So you can download Sublime Text, you can download PyCharm or other ones, but VS Code is the most used IDE all over the world. All right. So right now, if you have done that, I want you guys to make sure you have a folder on your system, right? So you're going to create a new folder on your system on your desktop, and in this folder, I'm going to name this folder my websites, like this. So I've created a new folder here, and this folder is going to contain my projects of building my website, right? And this folder here, I am going to open this folder here in my IDE that I prefer to work with. Remember, I said VS Code is the most used IDE, and I suggest you use also VS Code. So right now I'm going to open my website in my VS Code IDE. So I'm going to double click on it. As you can see, my IDE is actually very, very, very empty. I'm going to now just right click on it. If you're using Windows 10, just click on show more options and you will see what's open in terminal. If you're using Windows 11 like me, you just see open in terminal straight away. So you click in open in terminal right here. Then it's going to give you this terminal right here. So when it gives you this terminal right here, all you need to do is just to type in a little bit of code, which is going to be code space dot. So when you type in this code space dot, what's going to happen is that your IDE called VS Code, right, is going to open up for this particular folder called my website, and you can now start building the things that the client asks you to build, or you can now start building the idea you want to build. So I'm going to hit enter. All right, good. And as you can see, my IDE has already opened, which is my VS Code. As you can see, my VS Code has opened up successfully. And as you can see, my folder is very, very, very empty. And the same thing goes with here. It's very, very empty. So I've opened up VS Code for this particular project. And right now, I'm going to start building scalable website or scalable web applications or scalable server applications. But for now, we just want to build something like this, right? So the first thing you need to understand is HTML. I've told you what it is. It's the structure of your website, right? It's the structure. It's the structure that Amazon is using, the same structure Tesla is using, the same structure Coca-Cola is using, and so on, right? So right now we have our IDE here. The first thing we need to know how to do is that we should know how to create an HTML file, an HTML document, right? Or an HTML file. So right now, as you can see, we have this creating a file here, we have this creating a folder here, and we have this this refresh explorer here. So I'm going to create a file here, and I'm going to name this file home.html. So it's actually going to be our home page, just the way we have, our Amazon page, just the way we have this page like this single page like this, right? Just the way we have this kind of page here, right? So I'm going to say home.html, and I can come and say about.html, and I can come and say contact.html, and I can come and say, I'll just come and say product.html. As you can see, I'm creating so many pages that the users can visit, right? I'm creating so many pages the users can visit. So the next thing to do right now is that I have to understand how HTML works. Like I said, it is a structure, right? It's a structure. So right here, VS Code actually has a very simple snippet to make us generate HTML templates, and we can now start working with. But before we start working with HTML templates, I want you to go straight to your settings right here. You go straight to your settings, click on settings. When you come straight to settings, this autosave here, it might actually be on off, but switch it to afterward delay is very, very important, so that as you are typing, it's VS Code is actually saving what you are doing, right? So let's continue. So the first thing we need to do right now is that we need to create an HTML template, and creating an HTML template is actually very, very simple for each and every one of these pages, right? We on some websites, we can have things like about page, contact page, and the rest of those kind of pages, right? So I'm going to say HTML5. As you can see, VS Code lets us have these snippets easily. So I'm going to switch it to HTML5. When you do HTML5, it's going to give you the HTML template to start working with, or the HTML structure to start working with. So I'm going to click on it. As you can see, it has already generated my HTML structure for me. And if you have done that, the next thing to do now is that I'm now going to open this HTML stuff here. I'm going to open it on my browser. So I'm going to right click on it, and I'll click on Reviewing File Explorer, because as a developer, as you are building something, you have to see what you're actually building. So I don't want to open this thing in Microsoft Edge, right? But I want to open it in my Chrome browser. So I'm going to right click here. I'll right click. I'm not right clicking properly. Alright, so I'll open with my Chrome browser, which is here. As you can see, I have a very, very blank page right here. A blank page. If you look at all the other pages that are here, you can see all of them are not blank. They have structures, right? You can see the Tesla side has a very, very beautiful, this is a very nice car, has a very, very beautiful structure. The Coca-Cola home page has very, very beautiful structure, but our own page here has no structure, is just purely blank. And as you can see, we have this title called documents. If you look at Coca-Cola, we have home page. So basically, HTML is just the structure of your web page, right? So I can change this stuff here to home page. I can change this stuff here to home page, and I'll just say Coca-Cola. If I make a refresh now, as you can see, we have home page Coca-Cola. As you can see, we have home page. Okay, let me just put this in here. US. So I'll just come back here. As you can see, we have this title here. You can see this. The only difference is that we don't have the logo. If you have the logo, you can actually put it also in this your structure place right here. So let me explain everything about HTML. HTML is very, very simple. HTML is all about tags and structure. We have the head tags. The head tags is what you tend to see up here, and it's what you tend to is what you move, or what let's say for example, you're actually putting a CDN. I don't want to go deep into explaining CDN, but this head tag is the first thing that should be on your what HTML what template, right? All right, so we also have the body tag. This body tag is where everything of your content is going to be in, right? So right now, let's just build a very simple web page, a very simple web page. So right now I'm going to say div. So this div here is all about tags. Remember, HTML is all about tags. It's the structure. After structure is now the word, the tags. All right, so we have this tag called div tag. We have this tag called header tag. We have this tag called p tag. That's a paragraph. We have this tag called button. Let's say hello. We have this tag called form, the form tab. As you can see, we have this tag called the input tab, and the rest like that. If I come back here and I come and just do a simple refresh, you can see I have all these things right here, right? But it's just that it's just very ugly compared to the ones of Amazon, Tesla, and Coca-Cola, right? So, but let's just do a very simple website. All right, so let's begin. All right, now, so right now I'm going to have a tag called what H1. Remember, we have something called from H1 to what to H6. So I'll just come and say H2. I'll come and say H3. I'll come and say H4. Come and say H5. I'll come and say H6. So we have from H1 to what to H6. So I'll just say 1, 1, 1, 1. So all these things here are tags, right? You can see it has an opening tag and it has a what? A closing tag. Let me do a simple here. I'll just say format documents like that. So if I should come back and I do a refresh, you can see we have the H1 is more bigger, H2 is a little bit more bigger too, but H3, the H4, everything start becoming more smaller, right? So HTML is just the structure. After the structure, it follows by what? By tags. So those tags helps you with building your structure what? Conveniently. All right. So right here, I'm going to come and say H1, and I'll not come and say this is my website, as you can see. And if I should come back here and I do a simple refresh, you can see this is my what? Website. I have started building the structure already. Do you get me? I have started what? Building the structure already. And I can come and do a p tag, that's like a paragraph. I'll just say lorem 300, hit enter. I'll just collapse it here. Or let me just drag this so it doesn't become too much. If I should make a refresh here, you can see I have this. I have started building my structure. If I go straight to the Tesla website, right, this website is so beautiful and so nice. I'm telling you, so beautiful and so nice. All right, so let me just go straight to Coca-Cola. I think Coca-Cola makes more sense in terms of okay, take a look at all these things. You see these things you are seeing, right? All these are Obey Your Thirst by What Next by Sprite brand squad. I mean, it's all what this P tag. Do you get me? It's all about what this P tag that you're what seeing there, right? All right. So after that, I'm just going to create a button. Like I said, I'm just explaining the overview of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I'm not creating a full-blown course, right? So as you can see, we have this. Now we are now moving straight to what? To CSS, right? Straight to CSS. And what is CSS? Let's go straight to Google. I'll say what is CSS? So what is CSS? CSS stands for what? Cascading Style Sheet. Cascading Style Sheet. So what CSS does is that it lets you beautify your website, right? CSS lets you what? Do what? Beautify your website, right? As you can see, this website is quite very ugly, right? It's just the structure, just like the skeleton. But CSS lets you what? Beautify your website. The question now is that how do you add CSS to your HTML page? But before we do that, let's just do a very simple div here. I'll do a link and I'll call this one home page, and I'll call this one about us, and I'll call this one contacts, contact page, and I'll call this one products page. So right here, I'm just going to say homepage.html, so I can move from one page to another page. About page.html, I'll come and say contact.html, product.html right here. Alright, so if I should do a simple refresh here, you can see we have this. So if I click on this stuff here, you can see I move to another page. But the page called about.html is actually very, very, very empty. You can see nothing is there because we don't have the HTML structure. But what I would do is that I will just copy what I have here. I'll paste it here. Copy what I have here, paste it here, copy what I have here, paste it here too. So for the product page, I'll just say this is my product page. I'll come here, I'll say this is my contact page, and I'll come here and I'll say this is my about page. So if I should come back here like this, as you can see, we have this. If I come here to products, you can see this is my product page. So you can see we are style building a very, very simple basic website, but the website is still very, very ugly because of we've not added something called CSS, that's cascading style sheets. So let me go straight to my home page here. Like this, I'll go straight to my home page. And so let me create a file, and this file is going to be for my styling, right? So I'm going to come and say app, or I'm just say style.css. Remember, I'm creating a CSS file to style a particular HTML file, right? I'll hit enter. So you can see this CSS file is basically used for styling my HTML file. For styling my HTML file. All right. So right now, what I'm going to do right now is that I am now going to link this CSS file here. I'm going to link it to this HTML page right here. So I'm going to say link like this, and I'm going to say style.css. So as you can see, I have successfully did link. Link my CSS file that I just created. I've linked it to my HTML file. It actually means that I want to start styling. I want to start styling. That's what actually means. All right. So right now I can do a very simple styling by saying body. So what this body means here is that I am targeting all of everything inside of this body, right? So I can come and say something like font size. All these things, font size are properties, right? Properties. I can say large. I can say font family. I can say this one. And if I come back here like this and I do a simple refresh here, you can see it changes. It changes, right? You can see this is my website. It changes. But if I move straight to About Us, it's still the same thing. Why? About Us is too ugly because of we haven't added a CSS file to that About Us. That is what it means. It means that we have not started styling the About Us. Let me change this to About page. I'll come here to contact. I'll come here to contact and I'll come here to product. Like this. All right, like this. So right now, what I'm going to do right now is that I am just now, like I see, I'm adding styles to it. So let me just come and say button like this. So what it means is that it's going to target all the buttons in this home page. Why? Because of we actually added this CSS file to it. So that's what it means. So right here, I come and say font size. I can just say medium. I'll just say font family. So this one, let me just comment what I have here. I'll just give it a padding of 30 pixels just to have space all around, and I'll give it a padding of 12 pixels like this. So I make a refresh here. Let me go back to my home page. As you can see things are started changing. Why? Because of what we've started adding CSS to our code, right? We started adding CSS to our ugly sites right now. So let me come and just say a background color is black. I'll say the color here is white. So I make a refresh here, as you can see, we start styling it. I mean, we can start building this website to actually look like Tesla. We can build it to actually look like Coca-Cola. We can build it to actually look like any kind of websites, right? But we have to start with HTML. From HTML, we start with CSS. From CSS, we start to JavaScript, right? So as you can see, I've already told you that CSS is for styling your website, right? But like I said, we're not going in depth. I'm just giving you the general sense overview. In the next video, I'm going to be going deep more into HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Alright, so let's go straight into JavaScript. Let's say we want to make our web page more functional. Let's say when we click on this button, something should actually occur. But as you can see, nothing is actually occurring here. Nothing is going on here. The reason why nothing is going on this page is because of what? We have not added JavaScript to this page. If I go straight to Tesla's place right here and I click on here, you can see something kind of like, okay, let's use this for an example. Let me cancel this site here. Let me go back. Now, if I click on this stuff here, you can see something is changing. Something is changing regularly. This is Tesla website. It's one of the best car making in the whole world. I hope to have a Tesla one day too. Alright, so if I click on this site here, as click on it, 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 as you can see right now, it's functioning. The reason why it's functioning is because of what they added JavaScript to it, right? If I go straight to Coca-Cola website and I come here, you can see all these things here, all these actions here. JavaScript is actually used to do add actions to your website. So you can see, I click here. If I click here, something is actually occurring. So let's make something occur on our own particular website. So to do that, you need to have a JavaScript file, right? So don't worry about JavaScript. I'm going to create another video more about JavaScript. And also, so I'm going to come here and create a file. I'm going to say app.js. Remember, it's just the app here name is just a name. But the extension here ends with JS because of what? I'm writing JavaScript code. That's what it actually means. So this JavaScript code, I'm going to use it to do add behavior changes to my website right here. And before it can actually work, I have to do have a script here, which is, remember the way we added this HTML file, this CSS file up here? We need to do the same thing for JavaScript file. I mean, there's something called inline styling and inline scripts, but I'm not going to that one right now. But this is just a standard way to do your thing. So I'm going to come and say source, and I'll say app.js. And you can see like this. So whatever code I write here is going to be reacting on this home page right here. So if I just do a very simple function, don't worry about this. I'll just say hello there. Hello there like this. If I make a refresh, so you can see I have started adding a behavior function to my website. But let's take it to another level. So what I want to do right now is that anytime I click on this stuff here, I want the background of my web page to be changing. How I can actually do that is by adding JavaScript to that particular web page. So let's do that. So to do that, I need to just give this my button an identifier. I'm going to call it ID equals to btn. Don't bother yourself. I'm still going to create a video about JavaScript in depth. And I'm just going to say const btn is actually equals to document.get by ID, which is btn. And I'll just say const colors. You can actually follow what I'm doing, by the way. I'll say blue, I'll say black, I'll say red, and I'll say yellow. All right, good. So I'm going to say btn dot add an event listener. It actually means that I want my button to be clickable. So I'll say clicking. So I'll say click. I'll say click and I'll add a function to it to make it work. And I'll say const, I'll say random color is actually equals to colors the math the floor. I'll say math random dot length. But I'm sure this might be looking confusing to most of us, but don't worry guys, I'm still going to create more videos about JavaScript. Then I'll say document dot, just make sure you subscribe to the channel please, it's very very important. Dot style dot background color is actually equals to random color. So what actually means that if I should click on that button, be changing the color to any of this, right? So let's give it a try now. If I should come back and I do a simple refresh here, and I should click on this here, you can see it's changing. It's changing. You can see it's changing. The reason why it's changing is because of what we added JavaScript to our what, to our home page, right? As you can see, if I go straight to product page here, product page like this, if you click on this stuff here, nothing is working. Why? Because of what? We haven't, or the developer has not actually added JavaScript file to that what particular what home page. So we're going to stop here for this video. I'm going to create another video where I'm going to be building this site for you guys from the scratch. If you like this video, please make sure you leave a subscribe button, and I'll be creating more videos later on this week.